writing your name.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests. Sina hat über unsere Sprache gesprochen. Sina spoke to us about our language, and it gives me great pleasure to evaluate his speech. Visual aids are very useful in attracting people's attention, attracting the attention of our audience, and they're a way of conveying your message in a different form than words, so they can add to what you're saying. And Sina did that effectively by his use of the book that he started with, and also by use of a message that was on the back wall here, which actually then formed the framework for what he then later went on to do. Having a good beginning is an important thing, particularly when your project is get to the point. And Sina, and the importance of doing that is that you, from the get-go, you draw your audience into what you're saying so that they can then follow you for the rest of the speech. And Sina did that with a question: what are accents? And we then began wondering about that. He gave us a short answer, which was, he talked about the music and the rhythm of language, but he then did go on and tell us that he was then going to explore that theme in what he was going to be saying. So he did do that in what he was saying. It is important to end well. And the reason for that is you want to leave your audience with the feeling that now I've heard all of this, there's something I can take away and put into practice or implement later. And I think that the ending was far too quick. We had gone through all the middle, and suddenly there are just a few sentences and Sina had gone and sat down. One way in which that could have been enhanced would be through the use of a quote. For example, somebody called François de la Rochefoucauld said, "The accent of one's birthplace remains in the mind and in the heart as in one's speech." That would be something to leave us pondering at the end. It is important not to create barriers between yourself and the audience. And I did feel at the beginning, the left turn in front did that. I would recommend moving it to the side as I've done, which just frees up the space between yourself and the audience. Audience participation was great with the use of all the different languages. So all in all, Sina spoke to us about language. And the thought for all of us to be left with is, what impression do we leave with our use of language?
Thank you very much, Martin, for that. Now, Sina, having heard himself being evaluated, is going to evaluate somebody else.